Hi, it's Sarah, and I'm here with lesson 8 of A Course in Miracles. So, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea is, of course, the reason why you see only the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time and cannot, in fact, understand anything. The one wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this, because it is not really thinking about anything. The purpose of the exercises for today is to begin to train your mind to recognize when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank, rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas, is the first step to opening the way to vision. The exercises it's really late. The exercises for today should be done with eyes closed. This is because you actually cannot see anything, and it is easier to recognize that no matter how vividly you may picture a thought, you are not seeing anything. With as little investment as possible, search your mind for the usual minute or so, merely noting the thoughts you find there. Name each one by the central figure or theme it contains, and pass on to the next. Introduce the practice period by saying, "I seem to be thinking about blank." Then name each of your thoughts specifically. For example, I seem to be thinking about, it has in brackets name of a person, about in brackets name of an object, about in brackets name of an emotion. Okay? And so on, concluding at the end of the mind searching period with, "But my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts." This can be done 4 or 5 times during the day unless you find it irritates you. If you find it trying, 3 or 4 times is sufficient. You might find it helpful, however, to include your irritation or any emotion that the idea for today may induce in the mind searching itself. So, I'm going to fall asleep if I close my eyes. But I need to do it the way that it says, so to be honest, because it's late, I'm kind of just going through the day in my head, what I've been up to and that sort of thing. And obviously that is thinking about the past. And really, everything I know is from the past. Okay, but this is saying, I thought that was really good, where it said, recognizing that your mind has been merely blank, rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas, is the first step to opening the way to vision. So again, it's trying to retrain the mind to not bring the past into the present all the time. I guess that's the problem. And I think it's a natural thing to do. That's how we learn, you know? That's how our learning works in general. So I seem to be thinking about it's interesting because I've recently been deciding on my master's degree, on which subject to do, and my reasons for not doing the one that I was going to do. But then I think that's just an informed decision. So I'm saying I don't want to do a 2-year-long master's degree where you have to go into the university. I would like to do an online course instead. I think that would just suit me better. But then that's just an informed decision. So I'm really tired. I shouldn't have did this so late. So yeah. So my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. But I don't think that's always a bad thing. Like if you know somebody is, okay, I'm not going to use people as an example, but say you have a lighter and it's broken and it's dangerous, you wouldn't then go and use it. So your past thought is telling you that it's broken, so you shouldn't use it. But my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So maybe it's the preoccupation with the past thoughts that's the problem. Maybe these lessons aren't to be applied to absolutely everything. I think there should be some discernment. We can tell when it's a healthy thought or when it's not a healthy thought. And I guess the way we can tell is by how it feels. But then that worries me when they say, oh, if it feels good, then it's a good feeling. It's correct. And if it feels bad, then it's not. I'm kind of a little wary of that because it's a little bit too, what's the word? I don't know. I'm really tired. But I do want to do this lesson justice if I can. So to think about the past at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realised what is actually entailed in picturing the past. The purpose of this exercise for today is to begin to train your mind to recognise when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. So the purpose of this exercise is to begin to train your mind to recognise when it is not really thinking at all. So is it saying like when you're playing a scenario in your head rather than using critical thinking? I guess it's just to be more mindful of your thoughts. And that is a useful thing because our past comes into our consciousness a lot, and yeah, it's not always healthy. I'm gonna have to go because I am so tired, but yeah, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I can acknowledge that, and I need to challenge that and try to not bring it. It's like it's nice to have in the back of my mind. We have experiences, but we shouldn't rely on them too heavily in how we live our present and our future. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.